Some people don't have those thoughts, which is a great way to go through life. What a treat. Some people just never think about those things. Just like, well, night. Like, what about all the stars and stuff? Yeah, I think I got it. And if you know someone like that, just let them have that. Let them have that. Because there's a part of us that wants to talk them out of it. We want everyone to just be just as confused as we are. That's a natural thing. It's like, did you read this? Have you seen this thing? Like, stop, you're just being a jerk at that point. Just let them have it. Because we know, though, that there is no end to asking why or asking those questions, and that sucks. That's why we stop little kids from doing it. Kids always want to ask why, and you've seen that gag play out over and over and over again when the kid asks why, and we go, what? Because I said so, that's why. Eat your goddamn vegetables. Asking me why. But we do that because we really know there's no end to that. Like, why? Well, because you want to get an education. Why? Well, because then you have a better chance of getting a good job. Why? Well, because a good job will pay a little more, you can have some more security. Why? Well, because then you can buy a house, maybe have a family. Why? People didn't have families, and you want to have kids. Why? Well, because you want to provide for them. They can have an education and get jobs. Why? Because it's just we've developed an infrastructure. People have jobs. And why? Get my gun. It just doesn't really go anywhere. It's just. And that's one thing we are really good at, is being sad. As a group, we are the saddest species on this planet, without question. It's not even close. And yet we're in complete control. It doesn't seem like we'd be sad. It might be our secret weapon, but it doesn't seem like we would be sad. If you just saw the planet from afar and the sheer number of babies we crank out every day, it would be totally reasonable to assume that on the surface, it was just people skipping down the street going, hey, you want to have sex? Great, me too. How about you? Some sex? Wonderful. You do too? I'll pencil you for next week. But it's not that. It's not even close to that. Instead, it's just people alone in their rooms wrapped in blankets like, no one liked my video on my birthday of all days. And that spirit is dominating the planet. Other animals would love to have what we have, to come into a room with lights and air conditioning and just hang out. They don't have that, and it's not even close. And it's hard to imagine them being even remotely as sad as us. You can't picture a lion sitting around just like, oh, what's it all about? Yeah, I ate a zebra, that feels great, but I'm just gonna get hungry again. It's just an endless cycle. Will I ever have enough? When will I get out? They don't have time to do that because they're still heavily involved in being part of the food chain. They still have to wonder where their food's coming from. We're the only group that can just be like, what do you want to eat tonight? No other groups have that. We've safely removed ourselves where we're not even afraid of water anymore. You can drop your keys in a lake and immediately reach in after them without any fear of what might be in there. Nothing else has that. Like, water is terrifying to so many other species on this planet. If you're a gazelle on the Serengeti, nearly every sip of water you take in your entire life, it's just like, oh, please. Not today. Just a sip. I'm so thirsty. Come on. Oh, whose eyes are those? Damn it. You just go find a mud puddle somewhere like, this'll do. This is all right. It's so ruthless out there, and we don't even have to think about it. I mean, there's a bird called the honey guide that will fly into other birds' nests, lay its own egg, fly away, and out of that egg will hatch a little chick with a razor-sharp hooked beak that immediately upon birth destroys all the other eggs in the nest. That's a fear that none of us have ever, nor will ever need to entertain in our life. No one's ever going to be at the nursery of a hospital looking through the window and see one of the little babies spring up with a weirdly formed arm and just start attacking all the other kids. It's like, hey, whose kid is this? This kid sucks! This kid sucks! That'll never happen.